All right, let's talk about water. It's probably the most common piece of health advice out there, but is it actually right? How much water do you really need to be drinking every single day? Well, today we're going to uncover the real science behind staying hydrated.
You've heard this a million times, right? The classic 8 by 8 rule. 8 ounce glasses of water a day. It's been drilled into our heads by health writers, nutritionists, maybe even our parents. It's why so many of us carry those giant water bottles around, constantly sipping, trying to hit some kind of magic number.
But what if I told you that this so-called universal rule is, well, more of an urban myth than actual medical fact? That's really the big question we're digging into. Where did this whole idea even come from? And more importantly, does the science actually back it up? Okay, so let's start pulling on that thread. To understand what's real, we have to go back to the beginning of the myth. It turns out this all started with a simple misunderstanding about 75 years ago that somehow became one of the most stubborn health myths in the world. This timeline really shows you exactly where things went off the rails. It all started back in 1945 with a report suggesting about 2.5 liters of fluid a day. But here's the thing everyone seems to have missed: the lost clause. The report literally said in the very next sentence that most of this fluid actually comes from the food we eat. But somehow, that crucial detail just got dropped. By the 70s, the simplified and totally wrong idea of drinking 8 extra glasses of plain water had taken over. So let's just make this crystal clear. The original recommendation was always about your total fluid intake for the day. This whole idea of chugging 8 extra glasses of pure water was a complete misinterpretation that has somehow managed to stick around for decades. So if the 8 by 8 rule is a total myth, what's the real secret to being properly hydrated? Well, the answer isn't a rule at all. It's actually a super advanced, incredibly intelligent system that you were literally born with. The scientific name for it is homeostasis, and it's just your body's brilliant built-in ability to keep everything in perfect balance. Think of it like a smart thermostat for your entire body. It's constantly monitoring your fluid levels and making these tiny little adjustments to keep you in that sweet spot, all without you having to count a single glass. And this really shows you the huge difference. On one side, you've got the myth, this rigid, one-size-fits-all rule that's supposed to work for everybody. And on the other side, you've got the reality, your body's incredibly dynamic and responsive system that uses signals like thirst to give you personalized, real-time instructions. And the main takeaway here is actually pretty empowering. You can trust your body. For most healthy adults, that feeling of thirst is an incredibly accurate and sensitive gauge for your hydration needs. When your body needs more fluid, trust me, it's gonna let you know. Okay, so if we're throwing out the 8 by 8 rule, what do we replace it with? Let's take a look at what modern experts actually recommend for our total fluid intake. So modern health organizations like NASEM in the US and EFSA in Europe do have guidelines. But notice two really important things here. First, the numbers aren't even the same. The recommendation for men in the US is over a liter more than in Europe. That right there tells you there's no single magic number for everyone on the planet. And second, and this is the key part, these numbers are for your total daily fluid intake. That means it includes everything you drink and everything you eat. And this is exactly where that lost clause from 1945 becomes so important again. On average, about 20% of your daily hydration doesn't come from a glass at all. It comes from your plate. The food you eat is a huge part of the hydration equation. And I mean, some foods are basically just water you can chew. A cucumber is 96% water. Celery, watermelon, strawberries, they're all hydration powerhouses. And hey, let's bust another myth while we're at it. That daily coffee or tea, for most of us, it absolutely counts. The idea that it dehydrates you is largely overblown. Now, this is where things get really fascinating. Scientists actually created a beverage hydration index to see how well different drinks keep us hydrated over time. And get this, skim milk is significantly more hydrating than water over a few hours. How is that possible? Well, because its nutrients, like protein and sodium, actually help your body hold on to the fluid longer. It just goes to show you that effective hydration is about way more than just plain H2O. So, let's just toss out that old, outdated rulebook and replace it with something way smarter and more personal. Here is your new, practical, 3-step guide to nailing your hydration. All right, forget the old rule. Here's your new game plan. Step 1, just trust your thirst. It's your best guide.
Now, it's worth noting that this reflex can get a little less sensitive as we get older, so older adults might need to be a bit more mindful. Step 2, do a quick color check. You're aiming for a pale lemonade-like yellow. And step 3, be flexible. Your needs change every single day. And this is exactly why a fixed rule just doesn't work. A quiet day at your desk, you have a certain baseline need for fluid. But then you add a tough workout, or it's a super hot day, or you're up in the mountains, your fluid needs can absolutely skyrocket. Your hydration strategy has to be as dynamic as your life is. So here's the thought I want to leave you with. The real secret to hydration, it's not a number. It's a skill. It's about shifting from mindless counting to mindful listening. So instead of obsessively tracking every glass, what if we just got better at paying attention to the incredibly sophisticated signals our own bodies are sending us all the time?
Okay, we've all heard that classic advice. Drink 8 glasses of water a day. But why?
Yep, the good old 8x8 rule. You've probably heard it a million times. But is it fact or fiction?
It's become a daily goal for so many of us, but its origin story? Well, it's a bit of a myth.
This all started way back in 1945 with a health recommendation, but a really key detail got lost along the way.
And here's the missing piece. The original advice actually counted the water you get from your food.
Flash forward to 2002, and a major review confirmed it. There's just no scientific proof for the 8x8 rule.
So, if the rule's a myth, how do you stay hydrated? Turns out, your body is incredibly good at this.
You've got this incredible internal team working 24/7, constantly fine-tuning your fluid levels to keep you balanced.
The goal is this state called euhydration. It's that sweet spot of perfect fluid balance in your body.
So if it's not 8 glasses, then what is the real number? Well, let's see what the experts recommend.
And as you can see, the numbers vary. Why? Because there is no one-size-fits-all answer. Your needs are unique.
Everything from your age and activity level to the climate you're in changes how much water you need.
Okay, let's get into the secrets. A huge chunk of your daily water intake doesn't come from a glass.
On average, a pretty big slice, about 20 to 30%, comes directly from the food you eat.
Seriously, foods like cucumbers and watermelon, they're basically water in solid form, and it all counts.
And what about coffee? That old myth about it dehydrating you? Nope. It actually contributes to your fluid intake.
Now for secret number 2, and this might surprise you. Not all drinks hydrate you in the same way.
This is the Beverage Hydration Index. It measures how well your body holds on to fluids, and there's a clear winner.
That's right, skim milk. Its nutrients help your body absorb the fluid more slowly, keeping you hydrated longer.
So, the real takeaway? Forget the numbers. It's time to tune in to your body's own amazing gauges.
And it's really a simple 2-step check. First, listen for thirst. Second, just take a quick look at your urine color.
Because the real secret isn't some rigid rule. It's about responding to what your body needs, right now.
So it's not about a number, it's a conversation. The real question is, are you listening to your body?